city means everything to us. And things that are happening in our world, in our country and in Derby about how we're changing our habits and how we use our city centres requires us to really use all of our energy and creativity to think about the future in different ways. The ambition document has been developed by talking to stakeholders across the city about the major challenges that face how we use our city centre and trying to capture different ideas and suggestions about how we can use the space. Not just about the buildings themselves and the projects that might be used differently, but how do we use the spaces in between those projects, in between those buildings? The streets, the public spaces, greening the city, places to come together. How do we make it a place that is inspirational, that you want to spend time in? How can we take all the ideas to transform our city centre to be something that inspires us for the future? And how do we recognise the challenges we face and do things differently? Part of the ambition document proposes a new park in the centre of the city, from here to join the river gardens up to Bass's Wreck, to tame the ring road, to find a way of reducing the dominance of the car to create more green space. But how ambitious do you want us to be?
So, as part of our nature-based regeneration project and our concepts and visuals of what we want to achieve in the city centre, we've worked alongside Eden Project in Cornwall, working with independent retailers on Sadlergate. We're growing nature-based regeneration into the city organically. We've also got, the forest of the future to complement that. And yeah, it's going down an absolute storm, and it's really good to see how engaged people are in the city.
We need places to get together as human beings in our centre, and green and nature and the river, the assets we have in this city, need to be enhanced to achieve that. So I'm here talking about what we do around transport in our city, and you can see from around me how hard it is to be heard in this space. The degree and the number of cars being used here makes it impossible for us to even speak. So how do we address this really serious issue? So our Castle Ward development and also the DRI site that is now being built out, or living in the old hospital site. But how do they get into the city? They have to cross this ring road to do so. And in other parts of our city, the ring road dominates the space. How do we transform it to make it more equal with people who want to walk and cycle and make nature-led regeneration a real thing in our city? I'm here at the station, and many will know we are now going to have high-speed trains coming through Derby. More stops, more people. A real opportunity to grab those people to be coming into our city as a destination, somewhere they want to come and spend time. But when you come into the station, you come out of the station, what is your sense of arrival in Derby? Where do you go from here to find our centre of the city? It isn't clear and isn't an attractive space. So how can we reimagine the space around us to create something that's really clear, that shows the way into the city, that is attractive and inspiring and makes you want to be here and pleased to be here? So things done in Sheffield that has completely transformed how your sense of arrival when you come into Sheffield from the station. Can we do something like that here in Derby? In the ambition document, to transform our city, we need to really use culture.
So for me, arts, culture and the creative industries are fundamental to any contemporary city's vision of what it might be in the future. That's because it contributes to the economy, it contributes to education, it contributes to health and well-being, and crucially, it provides opportunities for people in the city to further their careers and develop their industry. By harnessing the creativity and the great businesses that exist here in Derby, connecting them with culture and crucially, connecting them with audiences in Derby. We want to create cultural disruption in the city centre that people just encounter and find.
Our master plan is hugely ambitious and reflects the university's desire to increase the vibrancy of the university quarter on the western side of the city. We believe this will engage our students in both the heritage and culture of our amazing city. The master plan envisages two distinct areas. an academic zone, which would include the new business school, our existing Friargate Square building, and new developments for learning, research and student facilities. The enterprise zone will deliver lettable commercial space for business, start-up for students, as well as retail, entertainment and student living. A key driver in the master plan is to ensure all new developments are net zero carbon. Our aim is to draw on the expertise of our staff, together with the skills and experiences within the business community of Derby, to innovate and lead the way in producing a zero carbon district. Our building within the Agard Street developments will be home to over 6,000 students and 300 staff, providing a mix of specialist teaching, creativity labs and dedicated space for businesses to engage and educate our students. We want it to be more than just a facility for learning, but a hub where students, staff and our business community feel at home.
So transforming our city centre is about seeing all the different aspects that make it a great place to come to. And the cathedral quarter of our city, the beautiful historic buildings that we have here, are second to none across the country. And this part of our city has become a haven for independent artisan retailers, shops, food and beverage outlets, things that are just slightly different and bespoke and are relevant to our city, not the big chains and the big brands, but independent artisan creative people with different businesses, and it creates a really different experience and it's part of the overall experience. So taking our city into the next 20, 30 years, transforming it to be the place we can imagine it to be, a really exciting, inspirational, funky destination people want to come and spend time in, is going to take everyone's bravery, commitment, energy and ideas. So we want all of you to take part in our conversation with the city, but what do you see your city being in the future? Online, you can go onto the Let's Talk website and put your ideas there and interact with other people on their ideas to create more ways of colouring in this future vision for our city.